10 meters above sea level. And we'll head right up to 2,263 meters above sea level.
This is cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So, yeah.
Oh, no, look at that.
So there's a change in elevation of just over 1 kilometer. It's 1,005 meters. So you probably feel your ears pop as you go up, maybe twice.
I see the car.
Yeah. When we come down on the way back, that's when we start handing out parking tickets. I'm kidding. You can see how well everyone's parked at this point. But yeah, and it is a little bit cooler up top. It's usually about 9 or 10 degrees cooler because every 100 meters you go up in elevation, you usually lose about a degree of heat. That being said, today it's been a beautiful sunny day all day. So I think we're sitting on about a 10 at the top and about a 20 down the bottom. So it's really balmy weather for this time of year. And you guys picked one of the best days we've had all season, actually, because because we might still it might be covered in cloud by now, but we might be able to see Mount Robson, which is Mount Robson is the tallest mountain in the Canadian Rockies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it this one?
No, it's not that one. I'll point it out when we get further up. We'll see if we can see it. It might be covered in cloud at the moment because you know what? It's so tall that it makes its own climate. So it's so tall that often it'll have a cloud around the top. So even on days like today, it'll be covered in cloud, whereas all the other mountains are clear. It's 3,954 meters tall. It's just under 4 kilometers tall.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Scary.
But yeah, we've got a great view of Jasper from up here as well. Shaped a little bit like a boomerang, as my friend likes to say, because anytime anyone comes to Jasper, they always want to come back. Now, ready for the swing? We have a bit of a swing as we go on the tower. Right, Justin? Ready? Woohoo! Yeah.
Wow, it's awesome.
Fun, huh? But yeah, and Jasper was founded in 1911. It was actually originally called Fitzhugh after the general manager and vice president of the railway at the time. And that was because the townspeople wanted him to come and visit. But he never did. And so in 1914, they renamed it to Jasper to match the surrounding forest park. But yeah, we've got a great view of the mountains from up here. So we've got the Moline Range off to the right here, with Signal Mountain in front. It's a rounded off mountain, and Takara in behind, with the one with the big rock face. Now Signal Mountain is called Signal Mountain because it used to be the site of a fire tower where the Parks Canada would overlook the park and watch to see if there were any forest fires so that they could put them out. But they realized in later years that actually forest fires are really healthy for the forest because it thins it out and makes it easier for animals to get through. And also, we have several conifers here that require heat to actually release the seeds from their pine cones. But actually, it's funny because there's no longer a tower off it at Signal Mountain because 40 years after it was built, it actually burned down, ironically. But it kept its name. And then we have the Collin Range out behind Jasper there. The Collin Range has one of my favorite mountains in it. It's called Roche Bonhomme, which in French means Goodfellow Rock, but it's more often called Old Man Mountain in English. Most people know it as Old Man Mountain. And that's because it looks like an old chieftain looking to the sky. And it's a really sacred mountain to the First Nations people of the area. So if you can't see it, if you have a look at the lakes on the right-hand side of Jasper, you'll see a lake, the lake that's closest to us. It kind of looks like a Pac-Man. That's Lac Beauvert. It's got the golf course on the side of it with the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge beside it. You draw a line up from that, you see a snowy peak. It's like sort of covered in shadow at the moment from the cloud. But the snowy peak with the diagonal rock face coming from the top. That one's Roche Bonhomme. The diagonal rock face is meant to be his jaw line. And then up and to the left you see the peak, and that's his nose. And then to the left of that there's a smaller peak, which is his brow line. and then the avalanche trails coming down are meant to be the feathers of his headdress. So yeah, and if you can't see it, just get one of the guys up top to point it out to you. There's also an info panel up there as well. Yeah, and then we've got the Victoria Cross Range here, starting with Pyramid Mountain out the front there, ending with Bridgeland, which is the big fat one that looks like a block of chocolate that somebody's taken a bite out of. See that? And then off to the left, you see the mountain that's way far away with a little bit of cloud coming off the top of it?
Yeah. Oh,
that's Mount Robson.
Oh,
yeah.
That's Robson.
Yeah, it's the tallest mountain in the Canadian Rockies. Possibly in Canada too, because I can't think of where else there would be a mountain that tall. Yeah, so it's pretty special to see.
Robson? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then to the left of that, the mountain range at the end of this valley here, that's called the Yellowhead Mountain Range. And that marks the provincial divide, so there's BC on the other side of that. So it's saving us 7% in taxes by about 50K. And it's also the continental divide. So you've got, it runs all the way down North America, and so you've got any water that runs off the west of it will head into the Pacific. Watch the bump, by the way.
1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Oh, we'll stop here, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Cool.
Awesome.
Kaya may music pala.
Yeah, so welcome to our station, guys. Hope you enjoy your time here. We've got a restaurant open and the gift shop is open. If you have any questions, Dan's up here.
How long will you stay here?
You can stay up here as long as you want. Last rundown is 5:30.
Okay, thanks.
2:10.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
The tallest mountain, yung tallest mountain.
Ito.
Kini kayo. Bakit sa background sabihin yung tallest mountain? Kini kayo magkaya picture na kayo.
Mommy.
Ano yan?